watching Hawaii News Now, Sunrise.
All right, 7:18 right now. Meteorologist Jennifer Robbins spent her vacation chasing storms.
Yeah, Jen, you know, we're teasing you about it because obviously you love weather. I mean, for us, we're like sunbathing, we're napping, you know, we're reading a book.
But you actually wanted to do this.
This is a weather nerd's dream. Come on, who would skip that? I was a little concerned because usually May is the month for storm chasing, but it's been kind of a slow season. We've had pockets of severe weather in May, as we saw from baseball-sized hail and all of that, but June has been pretty active and things are really amping out. I mean, we're going to see this probably the next couple of days of active weather. So
you're talking about in the Midwest?
Yes, in the Midwest.
So you went to Kansas, Nebraska?
So I flew into Denver and then rented a car, met up with some professional storm chasing friends who I have, drove all the way to wherever the storm was. So after everything was done, it was about 2,500 miles I put on the car. So quite a bit, but take a look at this.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Softball-sized hail. This was in Kansas where storm chasers got
with you
caught
in the car. That's you in the car?
This is actually some friends of ours that we saw pictures of this. They went towards right into the hail shaft. We avoided the hail because of this, because this can happen. About 100-mile-per-hour winds in that updraft, and imagining how big that hail is as it falls, it is coming at you at speeds of about 100 miles per hour. And just this past weekend, I was chasing along, and take a look at this. We actually we're stuck in a town where there was tornadic activity just outside of the town, and the sirens went off.
Power just went out, it's going on and off. We actually just heard the sirens. This is the first time I've ever heard this. A little eerie of a sound.
So definitely eerie when it happens at night. So we were in a town in Kansas, and so we had to take shelter underneath a bank cover as one of those drive-through banks that you go through. And so we were afraid that this baseball-sized hail would be coming our way, but you can see very eerie when the lights go out, when you hear that sound. And so you definitely have to be smart what you're doing. We're keeping a watchful eye on the radar of what's going on. So that's why we stopped driving. That's when I was actually heading back to the airport. We were still in Kansas going towards Nebraska. But storm chasing, you go where the storm is. And this was a look at it earlier. That's a supercell and very strong updrafts. We saw it start in the very beginning. So you're driving out here, beautiful blue skies. Doesn't look like a storm's coming. I mean, Greece has lived in, where tornadoes happened, and you probably know it could be blue in the morning, and then as the heat of the day happens, all the right ingredients are in place. This storm that you see, that one is teasing us. You can see that it's dropping the base of the cloud, and it kept dropping it, and then it would dissipate. So at first it's not so violent, but once it gains that vorticity, that speed and tightly wound, that's when things can really be scary. But just want to go through a few pictures here too, guys. It's really cool to see just the storms develop. And so I went all over the place, like I said. I was with Tempest Tours, my storm chaser friends there. Also my friend John Hallen, who's a professional storm chaser. He's tagged up with some of the teams that did the Discovery show. Like, I don't know if you guys have watched any of the reality TV shows, but there's a vehicle called the Dominator, and they drive right into the tornadoes. But I got a good taste of it. I definitely want to go back. I got pretty close to a few tornadoes, but nothing like today. We could see F3s today, maybe F2s in some areas. So very violent tornadoes could be in the forecast today. Let's take a look at some of the forecasts that we're going to be just looking at. Like I was talking about hail size, take a look at this, you guys. The updraft in these storms were really strong. We could see that repeated today. You saw that video with softball-sized hail falling at speeds 100+ miles per hour. So we could see a repeat of that today. We're already watching the radar really carefully. So South Dakota, Minnesota, Nebraska, Iowa, and Wisconsin, you see this area in yellow. That's where the most tornadic area could likely blow up later into the afternoon. We're keeping a very watchful eye on that area. Hail accompanied with it, very strong winds of maybe 80 miles per hour, especially the straight line winds ahead of the storm system that we could see. And here it is already on the radar, still seeing some storms fire up. And you can see the curvature that could be a sign of a tornado on the ground. Here at home though, no tornadoes, of course. Beautiful blue skies along with some Mauka clouds, and the trade winds continue to blow our way. Rachel?